We have always been told that vegetables are the safest choice on our plate. For most of our lives, that has been true. When doctors talked about eating better for the heart, vegetables were at the top of the list. Broccoli, spinach, celery. These were part of the solution, not the problem. But just like many things in life, the story is a little more complicated than it first seems. As we get older, our bodies begin to respond differently to food. The digestive system slows down. Blood pressure becomes more sensitive. Medications we take each day can change how we absorb nutrients. Foods that once felt light and healthy might now leave us feeling bloated, tired, or just not quite right. These changes happen slowly, and we often do not realize what is causing them. That is the tricky part. We continue eating the same things, trusting old habits, assuming they still work for us. But sometimes, without realizing it, we may be putting quiet strain on the heart through small, everyday choices. Even something as simple as a vegetable side dish can become a hidden concern. This does not mean you need to fear the food on your plate. It just means it is time to look again, to ask new questions, and to understand how your body works now, not how it worked 30 years ago. Certain vegetables, depending on how often we eat them and how they are prepared, may no longer support heart health the way we think they do. That is why this kind of information matters. If you find this helpful, I hope you will take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It is a simple way to stay informed and keep learning how to care for your heart, one step at a time. Let us begin with one that might surprise you. It is a vegetable many people believe is full of health benefits. Some even drink it in juice form every morning. But for some older adults, it might be doing more harm than good. Let us talk about celery. 1. Celery, the hidden salt risk. Celery is one of those vegetables that almost everyone thinks of as a heart-healthy choice. It is light, crunchy, low in calories, and often praised for its fiber and water content. Many people snack on it raw, dip it in peanut butter, or even juice it to start their morning. It seems harmless, even helpful. But for older adults, celery may come with a quiet risk that is often overlooked. What many people do not realize is that celery contains natural sodium. While that amount might not seem like much in a single stalk, it can add up, especially for those who eat it regularly or drink it in juice form. For seniors who already have high blood pressure or are sensitive to salt, this natural sodium can slowly push those numbers in the wrong direction. The challenge is that celery does not taste salty. It does not come with a warning label, so most people do not think twice about how it might affect their blood pressure. But for someone who is watching their sodium intake closely, even healthy-looking vegetables like celery can be part of the problem without them knowing it. This becomes even more important when celery is juiced. A glass of fresh celery juice may contain the sodium of several stalks, all at once, and without the fiber to slow absorption. For someone with high blood pressure or heart disease, that can quietly raise the risk of fluid retention or added pressure on the arteries. Now, this does not mean you need to remove celery from your life completely, but it does mean being thoughtful about how often you use it and in what form. A few stalks in a salad now and then will not harm most people, but turning it into a daily drink, especially without medical guidance, may not be the best idea for the heart. As we continue, you will see that celery is not alone. There are other vegetables that carry quiet risks like this, especially when eaten often or in the wrong way. One of the next ones might surprise you even more, because it is usually linked with strength and iron. Let us take a closer look at spinach. 2. Spinach, a hidden risk for your kidneys and heart. Spinach has long been seen as one of the healthiest vegetables you can eat. It is rich in iron, full of vitamins, and often recommended in heart-healthy diets. Many people add it to their salads, saute it with garlic, or blend it into smoothies. It is green, leafy, and packed with nutrients. But for some older adults, spinach might not be as harmless as it seems. What many people do not know is that spinach is very high in oxalates. Oxalates are natural compounds found in certain plants. In some people, especially older adults, these compounds can cause problems by building up in the kidneys. Over time, that buildup may lead to kidney stones or make existing kidney conditions worse. And since the kidneys play an important role in controlling blood pressure, anything that stresses them can also place added pressure on the heart. The connection between kidneys and heart health is stronger than most people realize. When the kidneys struggle, they often signal the heart to work harder. For someone already managing high blood pressure, diabetes, or other age-related conditions, this extra strain can slowly become dangerous. And because spinach seems like such a healthy choice, many people eat it often, without thinking twice. Another issue is that spinach is sometimes eaten raw in large quantities, especially in salads or smoothies. When eaten raw, the oxalate content stays high. Cooking can reduce some of those levels, but not completely. And if someone already has a history of kidney issues, even small amounts may add up over time. This does not mean you have to avoid spinach altogether. For many people, it is still a good vegetable when eaten in moderation and cooked properly. But it does mean you should be mindful. If you have had kidney stones before, or if your doctor has warned you about kidney function, it may be time to limit how often spinach shows up on your plate. Just like with celery, the goal is not fear, it is awareness. Spinach can still be part of a balanced diet, but it should be used with care, especially for those over 65. Now let us move on to a vegetable that is found in nearly every household and seems completely harmless, but the way it is usually prepared makes it far riskier than it appears. Let us talk about potatoes. 3. Potatoes, a comfort food with hidden consequences. Potatoes are a familiar comfort food. For many of us, they bring back warm memories of family dinners, holiday meals, or simple weeknight suppers. Mashed, baked, roasted, or fried, potatoes are one of the most common and versatile foods in the American kitchen, and on the surface they seem harmless. They are a vegetable after all. But the truth is, for older adults trying to protect their heart, potatoes may come with more risks than we think. One of the main concerns with potatoes is their high starch content. Starch is a type of carbohydrate that breaks down quickly into sugar once it is digested. This rapid spike in blood sugar can be a problem, especially for people with diabetes or those at risk for it. Over time, repeated spikes can lead to insulin resistance, inflammation, and weight gain, all of which place added stress on the heart. The way we prepare potatoes often makes things worse. Mashed potatoes are usually loaded with butter, cream, or salt. French fries and hash browns are deep fried in oils that may contain trans fats or promote inflammation. Even baked potatoes, while healthier than fried, are sometimes topped with sour cream, bacon bits, or cheese, all of which add saturated fat and sodium. For seniors, these combinations can be particularly harmful. A dish that starts off as a simple potato can quietly turn into a source of excess calories, hidden salt, and unhealthy fat. And when eaten often, these meals can slowly raise blood pressure, increase cholesterol levels, and make it harder to maintain a healthy weight. That said, potatoes do not have to disappear from your diet. When prepared simply, like baking them with the skin on, using olive oil instead of butter, and adding herbs instead of salt, they can still be part of a balanced meal. The key is moderation and preparation. Swapping regular potatoes for sweet potatoes from time to time may also provide more fiber and nutrients without the same blood sugar impact. As with the other vegetables we have discussed, the goal is not to avoid food out of fear, but to understand how it works in your body at this stage of life. Let us continue by looking at another surprising source of heart strain, not because of sugar or starch, but because of something many of us forget to check for: salt. Let us take a closer look at pickled vegetables. 4. Pickled vegetables, a salty trap in disguise. Pickled vegetables often bring a burst of flavor to the plate. Whether it is a crunchy dill pickle, a spoonful of sauerkraut, or a bit of pickled beets with dinner, these tangy bites are enjoyed in many American homes. They are sometimes even praised for their probiotic content, which may support digestion. But behind that sharp taste and satisfying crunch, there is something that deserves a closer look: salt. Most pickled vegetables are packed using brine, which is a mixture of water, vinegar, and a generous amount of salt. This salt is essential for preserving the food and giving it its distinct flavor. But for seniors, especially those managing high blood pressure or heart conditions, that hidden sodium can add up quickly. What makes it tricky is that pickled vegetables often seem like small extras on the plate, A few slices of pickle on a sandwich, a tablespoon of relish, or a side of pickled cabbage may not seem like much. But even small servings can contain hundreds of milligrams of sodium. And because they are eaten in addition to a main meal, which may already have salt, they quietly push the total intake higher than recommended. For older adults, too much sodium can lead to water retention, increased blood pressure, and extra strain on the heart. Over time, this can raise the risk of stroke, heart failure, and kidney problems. The effects are not always immediate, but with repeated exposure, the damage builds slowly, day by day. This does not mean you have to give up pickled foods completely. If you enjoy them, there are still ways to include them safely. Some people rinse pickled vegetables under water before serving to reduce surface salt. Others choose low-sodium versions when available, or enjoy them just once in a while rather than daily. These small adjustments can make a real difference, especially when combined with other heart-conscious habits. Being mindful of salt is one of the most powerful steps you can take to protect your heart, and it often starts with the little things: sauces, snacks, and side dishes that we overlook. Up next is a vegetable that might seem innocent, but belongs to a group known for causing inflammation in sensitive individuals. Let us talk about eggplant. 5. Eggplant, a sneaky trigger for inflammation. Eggplant is one of those vegetables that adds color and texture to a meal. Whether it is grilled, baked, or used in casseroles like eggplant parmesan, it brings a certain richness that many people enjoy. It is low in calories, high in fiber, and often promoted as part of a Mediterranean-style diet. But for some older adults, eggplant may quietly be doing more harm than good. Eggplant belongs to a plant family known as nightshades, which also includes tomatoes, peppers, and white potatoes. These vegetables contain a natural compound called solanine. For most people, solanine is not a problem in small amounts. But for those who are sensitive to it, it can trigger low-level inflammation in the body, particularly in the joints, digestive system, or even blood vessels. As we age, our bodies become more reactive to subtle triggers. Some people may start to notice more joint stiffness, bloating, or general fatigue after eating certain foods without realizing what caused it. For individuals who already have chronic inflammation, arthritis, or autoimmune conditions, nightshades like eggplant can quietly add to the discomfort. This matters because inflammation is not just about stiff knees or sore hands, it is also linked to heart health. Chronic low-grade inflammation can damage blood vessels over time, increase the risk of plaque buildup, and make the heart work harder. While one serving of eggplant is unlikely to cause major issues, eating it regularly without noticing how your body responds may not be the best choice for everyone. Another thing to keep in mind is how eggplant is usually prepared. In many recipes, it is fried, breaded, or smothered in cheese, which adds extra fat and sodium. These ingredients can work against heart health goals, especially for those watching their blood pressure or cholesterol. None of this means that eggplant is a bad food. In fact, many people enjoy it with no problems at all. But if you find that you feel bloated or achy after eating it, or if you have been told to reduce inflammation, it might be worth cutting back for a while to see how your body reacts. Sometimes the best way to protect your heart is to listen closely to how you feel after meals. Now that we have looked at these 5 vegetables, the picture is clearer. Each one may seem healthy at first glance, but for older adults, small choices around how we eat and how often we eat them can make a big difference. Let us take a moment next to talk about how to adjust your plate in a practical way so you can keep enjoying your food while protecting your heart. Simple shifts, stronger heart. What to eat instead. After hearing about 5 vegetables that might be causing more harm than good, you might be wondering what you are supposed to eat instead. Does this mean you have to stop eating all your favorite vegetables? The answer is no. What it means is that as your body changes, your approach to food should change too. The goal is not to make your meals more complicated. In fact, the best heart-healthy choices are usually simple. They do not require expensive ingredients or complicated cooking. They just require a little more awareness of how certain foods affect your body, especially as you get older. One helpful step is to focus more on vegetables that support your heart without the same risks. Steamed broccoli, carrots, green beans, and zucchini are all gentle on the body and full of nutrients. These vegetables are naturally lower in sodium and oxalates and are unlikely to cause inflammation. They also pair well with herbs, olive oil, and lemon, so you can enjoy flavor without relying on salt or butter. If you enjoy potatoes, consider swapping in sweet potatoes now and then. They offer more fiber and antioxidants and are less likely to spike blood sugar. If you love spinach, try cooking it lightly and rotating it with other greens like kale or chard. And for pickled vegetables, you can enjoy them in small amounts or look for low-sodium versions to keep the salt in check. Cooking methods matter too. Roasting with a little olive oil, steaming, or baking can bring out natural flavors without adding extra fat or salt. If you are used to frying or heavily seasoning your vegetables, making small shifts can lead to big improvements in how you feel after meals and how your heart responds over time. It is also worth paying attention to how your body reacts. After eating a certain food, do you feel heavy or tired? Do you notice joint pain, swelling, or digestive discomfort the next day? Sometimes your body gives you quiet signals that something is not agreeing with you. Keeping a simple food journal for a week or two can help you spot patterns and make better choices moving forward. Most importantly, do not let food become a source of fear or frustration. These adjustments are not about restriction. They are about listening, learning, and finding what works best for your heart now. You have cared for others for years. Now it is time to care for yourself, one thoughtful bite at a time. Next, let us bring all of this together with a closing reflection. A reminder that protecting your heart does not require a perfect diet, just steady, mindful steps. Caring for your heart, one small step at a time. You have just taken a thoughtful look at 5 vegetables that, while often seen as healthy, may not be the best fit for your heart at this stage of life. None of this means you need to stop eating vegetables or feel nervous every time you sit down to a meal. The message is much simpler than that. It is about paying closer attention to how food makes you feel and how it works with your body as it is today, not how it was 10 or 20 years ago. Your heart has been with you through a lifetime of memories, challenges, and joys. It has carried you through work, family, and change. Now it is time to carry it with the same care and attention. That does not require strict diets or complicated plans. It starts with quiet changes like cooking more gently, choosing vegetables that work with your body, and learning to listen to how food affects your energy, your comfort, and your peace of mind. You do not have to get everything right. You do not need to be perfect. But every small choice you make, adding a little less salt, choosing a vegetable that supports your kidneys, paying attention to blood pressure after a meal, each one adds up. Over time, those choices become habits, and those habits shape the rhythm and strength of your heart in real, lasting ways. If you found something helpful here today, I hope you will share it with someone you care about. And if you would like to keep learning simple ways to care for your heart, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Together, we can keep making small steps toward a stronger, more peaceful life. One meal, one breath, one day at a time.